Today we will be installing VMware Workstation Player, and in that we'll install Ubuntu. To begin with, we shall first go to VMware's website and search for VMware Workstation Player. So this is free for non-commercial use, for home use and trying to learn experiment. But if you're using for commercial use, you probably have to buy a license key, which is about roughly $150. So over here, if you just click on this, it is to download. It will download right now for Windows since we're using Windows. But in my case, I already have the executable downloaded. So I shall go here. Shall go to VMware Player. Double click it. Here's standard UAC. Here we go. So over here you mostly click next. I accept the license, next. Or if you want, you can avoid this, but I normally install this enhanced keyboard driver. I do not want to join the customer experience program, and I'm not too keen on checking for updates on startup. If you want, normally you should enable check for product updates on startup, and I shall create a shortcut to my desktop. So once this finishes installing, after I click install, we'll continue. And there we go. Now that's finished installing. We'll click finish. It will ask us to reboot. So once this reboots, we'll be back. Okay, now that it is back, we shall open VMware Workstation Player, and it should ask me to input a license. As you can see here, the first thing it offers you is Workstation Player for free and non-commercial use. Since it's non-commercial use, we shall click continue, and that's it, finish. And there we have VMware Workstation Player. It opened the browser and did open to their welcome page. Okay, so now we shall download the Ubuntu Iso. You can just go to Ubuntu and go to the site, and over here you can see downloads. So you click on downloads. So normally when there are two versions of Ubuntu, so right now there's only a single version, which is 20.04 LTS, which is the latest and it's the current LTS. So probably around September, October, you'll see 20.09, which won't be an LTS. And over there you can choose if you want the LTS or you want the latest and greatest. The release cycle for the 20.09 will be about 6 months, whereas for LTS it's normally anything between 5 years to 10 years. They support it, and they have a new update every 2 years. So the next LTS should be 22.04. So right now we want this. We shall just click on LTS. Also, another thing is, if you want to install Ubuntu without a GUI, say you wanted to build Android ROMs, you can just download the server version, which will give you Ubuntu just at the command line, and you can SSH to it and build your ROMs or whatever else you need to do. So for this experiment right now, we'll use Ubuntu desktop. Click on this, and over here in the background you will see Ubuntu should start downloading. There we go. You can see here it will download a 2.5 GB file, but since I already have this ISO, I shall not download it right now. Another thing is, if you do want to contribute, you can set up a small donation to the Ubuntu team to help support them. And I shall just close this. Okay, so now we have VMware Player. I shall go to Player, File, New Virtual Machine, and here it asks me to insert the disk image file. So I shall browse to my downloads, and here I have the Ubuntu file. I'll click on this, click open, and you can see here VMware automatically detected that this is Ubuntu 20.04. So what this does is it uses something called easy install, which would just ask you right now for a few inputs. If I click next, like my name and password, and it will auto install Ubuntu for me. I do not have to worry about partitioning or anything like that. This is the quickest way to install Ubuntu in a virtual machine. So over here I should just put my name, username I should put the same. password. I should put a secure password. I'm using a very simple password here, but when you do, please set up a secure password. Click next. Here I can change the name of the virtual machine if I would like, but I should leave it the same. I should click next. Here it allows you to set up the disk size you want to use, but normally always leave split virtual disk into multiple files, as it makes the VM slightly faster. Also easy if you want to move it around later. So for right now I shall make the disk size 100 GB. Click next. Now over here it gives you an option to customize the hardware. So for instance, if I wanted to give it more than 4 GB, I can give 8 GB of RAM, or if I wanted to give it say 4 cores and I wanted to enable virtualization within the VM, then I could click on this. So say you want to experiment with things like Docker or LXC within the virtual machine, then you can do this. Right now I'll just leave it to its defaults, and I'm going to be 4 GB. Close. Also, one more thing I forgot to tell you is about network. So if you do want to access this virtual machine from another remote computer on your network, you can bridge it to your network, which would give it a IP which is associated with your LAN on your computer network. NAT allows you to connect within multiple virtual machines and your current desktop. You won't be able to access this virtual machine outside this computer. So I should just leave for NAT for now and say close and hit finish. Now it will ask you, do you want to power this virtual machine after creation? I'll just say leave it, and now it will start up. That load check for disks. Okay, now this is important. Over here you see it asks you to download VMware tools for Linux, and normally you should always do this because it enables you to have a better resolution and better graphical interface, and this it helps with a more seamless experience between the virtual machine and your Windows desktop. So I'll just click download and install. Now this will download. Okay, so here you see it asks you for UAC. I will just click on yes, and as you can see here, Ubuntu is auto installing the background. I did not do anything. So now once this finishes, we'll get back. As you can see over here, right now it's installing OpenVM tools once it rebooted automatically. Okay, now we're back. As you can see, it automatically installed the VMware add-ons, which is OpenVM tools, and we're back at a working desktop. So now I'll just log in. I'll click on this. I'll type my password, and now because we have VMware tools installed, you'll see it auto resize as it logs in. And if I just double click here, yeah, can you see that it automatically resizes the window and everything for me. For now I shall not add any accounts. I shall say skip. I do not want to set up live patch. No, I do not want to send system info, and I want this location services turned off. Click next, and we're done. And as you can see, we are working desktop. New type terminal. You get terminal. You can do a sudo -apt this get update. And as you can see, we have a working install in Windows of Ubuntu. It was very easy to install. You just have to input a few details and you have. And if I resize it again, you can see it resizes the whole window again down. I can select any other size if I require. Okay, that's all for today, and we shall catch you again next time.